Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
So, almost afraid to ask. Hugh, Zainin, you guys ready on anything or?
I think you just have to set a trial date. I think she asked for.
You know I don't do that. Who?
Don't know what else to do.
Are you talking, oh, you're talking
No.
about her age?
Yeah, she's talking to her client, trying to go get her.
No, let her talk.
Oh,
Oh, he was.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, you're talking to me? Or her? I thought you were talking to me.
I'm pretty sure you're talking to me.
Sometimes I just talk to anybody that'll listen. I tried to talk to Alan this morning. He wasn't listening. So I,
So I've actually had a couple of them, council and I.
oh, what? Oh, see, Hugh, I was talking to you, man. And I knew, because I knew Zainin was going to do this. Go ahead.
You missed me on Friday. I know you did.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. All right. So you, Sycamore Meadows, how many does she have?
7.
On Sycamore Meadows?
I think
That's a lot.
it is, but we really, there's only 2 that you have to do when you can.
Yeah, so you want us to just get rid of those files or what do you want me to?
I think there's assistance on them.
What?
I think they're pending assistance or
On 5 of those? Okay.
One's judge. But council's here now. You
don't know which ones.
I don't know which ones either. Because Zainin just started talking.
You opened the can, you looked at.
I did, but I was trying to do something this morning before
You want me to go?
Mr. Friedman starts. No, you don't want to be behind Friedman.
Is it metal and rolls?
Let's pull autumns and rolls and do the other 5. The other 2 won't take very long either. I don't think.
So these,
Those are the ones she said they need.
these are easy. All right. Can I call them as a group or you want them called it?
You're good with them, right? The ones that are the 5. Yeah, that's fine.
The 5?
Yes.
Okay, Sycamore Meadows versus Jantz Jr. versus Fulton versus Poole versus Nichols and versus Simmons.
With the plaintiff, Carrie Salmon, on behalf of Sycamore Meadows, Your Honor.
Emily Poole is permission to appear under Michigan Court Rule 8.120 under the supervision of Attorney Joe Bauer for this time.
Permission to practice is granted.
My understanding on all of these, there are working on assistance, except for maybe Fulton. We're still working on assistance. So we're working on assistance. And so we would ask to maybe come back in 2 weeks if you're agreeable to that. I think Michael Poole will actually resolve himself today. We've talked about that as well. Hopefully I'll be able to send you a dismissal today. But the other ones are working on either Hawk, DHS, or trying to get some kind of assistance. So we would like to reschedule those for 2 weeks if we can.
Are the, as I look through these files, so the number or the amount claimed Nichols, I don't see as necessarily being a problem. Nor on Simmons. There are 2 where the number is significant. So has there?
Cool one, but that one that she was, my client wrote off and brought the balance down to like 2,000 something.
Okay, so
That's the one I actually think that will be resolved today.
okay.
Speaking with this pool. Correct. Okay, and so the other one, I think it's the Fulton or the G, one of them.
Fulton is, yeah.
The Fulton ones. We're working on that. If there was something else that we were getting to work on that one. Yeah. But other than all the other ones are straight up just trying to wait for some funding.
Okay, gotcha. But then
One.
I just want to make sure that the number on these is gonna get down to the point that funding, as the caps are set, can cover.
And
Right.
that's what we're trying to do on the one, yes.
Got it. Okay, so all of, what's my name?
February 18th at 9 AM.
Will February 18th work?
Tuesday or Friday?
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday. I mean, that works. I know that these cases were set to the Tuesday docket this week for convenience, so we could also put them on.
We can always put it on a Friday if that's okay with you, because I'm
Why are they doing this to me?
so sorry. I'm good with a Tuesday.
Don't I? So, hold it. You didn't even come up with that on your own, did you? It was Bauer that told you to say that, didn't she? Didn't she say, she did do that, right? Because Tuesdays were fine with you. Something about Bauer, it's not gonna work, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
I know it is. I know it is. Bauer, what's the problem with Tuesdays?
Nothing, Your Honor, I just didn't want them to get mistakenly put on a faster track because they were on Tuesday.
I'm confused by that.
I don't even know what that means.
I-
You just made something up, then made her say it so that she would get in trouble.
Is she?
No, well, she would have been, except that now I know it's your
No,
fault.
I'm in trouble.
No, yes, you are in trouble. I'm gonna leave them on a Tuesday because I'm trying to get these things resolved.
That's fine. I
Feb-
mean, otherwise it would have been the 14th, which is Valentine's Day, so. Right.
And I'm never in a good mood on that day. So,
I'll make sure that-
well, no, it's only because it's expensive. And every day is Valentine's Day with me. So, well, yeah, it is really. Okay, you guys don't have to look like that when I say that. Wow.
February 18th.
February 18th, 9 AM. Wow. Sycamore Meadows versus Autumn Meadow.
Emily Rule under the supervision of Attorney Joe Bauer on behalf of the defendant.
Briefly spoke this morning, my understanding is that the only issue that council wants to bring forth at this time is regarding bed bugs. I don't believe that we discussed that last time. They're going to go a different avenue as to, with the flooding. This is the one with the washer and the dryer. And so in that respect, today I handed council a copy of the bed bug addendum that was signed by Ms. Meadows in 2023. And, I gave her my copy and made pictures of it. I can have, at this point, though, Judge, just for the record, let me tell you what's due and owing at the time.
Yes.
There's $5,280, Judge, and that includes. That includes the front costs already. She does not, that's before book costs, and I think book costs would be $190. So $5,280.89 is what's due on Miss Meadows' budget.
And you said that amount includes court costs? Does not. Okay. 190, that's fine.
So I know that council wants to argue for an abatement due to bed bugs. Judge, I would, I have my manager or my maintenance manager here. He actually can testify to the court that he actually put brand new flooring in before Miss Meadows moved into the unit. And he was on, obviously, as he was laying the flooring was throughout the whole unit. There were no bed bugs when she moved.
So I do just want to interject a couple of things. First, I just want to make sure it is on the record that we are withdrawing from consideration the request for flooding damage.
The what?
The request for, for damages for flooding, I just want to make
You're
sure.
withdrawing that. All right.
And then also I know that previously I was rightly reminded that we do not do pretrial conference by ambush. And so because I had documents that I hadn't shared with Singapore in advance, it was pushed later so that I could send this over and get some more time.
It wasn't your fault, it was Bauer. Go ahead.
Go that far. But yeah, the flooring testimony and also the Bedbug lease appendix were just given to me like 2 minutes.
Have you looked through the addendum?
I have looked through it. I've been trying to pay attention to a couple different things, so I haven't spent as much time with it as I would like.
I do want to say, Judge, and I did give her the addendum, but bedbugs were really not discussed last time.
Right.
Here, and they mentioned them briefly because of the answer that was brought forward last time, and that was in Miss Meadows' answer, and only Miss Meadows' answer, and it only came out of her mouth in that respect. I also want the court to remember, though, my maintenance man was here last time too, and we talked about fluoride as well on the same time. So this is.
No, I do. I remember him being.
I didn't ambush anybody. I was told today we were no longer doing the flooding, and we were just focusing on the bed bugs. And again,
So let me ask this. You provided the bedbug addendum. What import from plaintiff's standpoint would that addendum have to her claim regarding the bedbug?
she's responsible for any of the damage that incurs, due to the bed bugs. Bed bugs aren't, they are brought into the unit. They are not something that are.
They're not native to units.
They're not native, well, they're usually brought in, right? I mean,
Right.
bed bugs, it's not something that's there.
So you haven't had a chance to look at that.
Not thoroughly.
All right, well, go look at it thoroughly with your client, and then I'll call you guys back up. Let's see if we can get this done today, because he's been here twice and he looks like he's enjoying himself, but I don't think he wants to come back. And then did they just stop talking to each other?
Are you asking about where Ms. Bauer went?
Yeah.
She just went to try to get a copy of the order for Mr. Rawls.
Okay, but are we ready on did you review are we ready on Meadow? Oh, okay. Court recalls case of Sycamore Meadows versus Meadow.
Okay, here it is, on behalf of plaintiff.
Yeah, we will, sit back and we will fill out on behalf.
Just I have a real quick question, preliminary question. I don't know if they filed an appearance on this one either. Actually, when I just checked.
I don't have.
There isn't. So at this point,
So, Your Honor, when we agreed, we took on the whole, both of the cases.
I know.
In order to do it this informal way.
and I'm okay with us continuing, Judge, but the point is they wouldn't sign my conditional dismissal before because it was gentleman's handshake agreement. So, I'm a little confused as to how to proceed.
And I get it, and I'm a little bit confused, and it's gonna sort of go into the next set of cases that I have regarding Arbor One and Arbor One West. And is a concern for the court.
We could put an appearance after this if you would like. Your Honor.
Pardon?
I'm happy to put an appearance in today.
On this case?
Sure.
Please do, because I think that somehow that's gonna have to be worked out, because I think counsel's getting confused as to what happens or can happen on cases. And defendants, I don't want confused. I mean, I guess it's one of those things of being in or out. And I get resources, I get all of that stuff, but
And Your Honor, I wasn't refusing to sign for Mr. Rawls. It's just that because we didn't have an appearance and he was here.
Rawls is done. I'm past that now at this point, but this isn't, and understand, this isn't an issue just about this today. Somehow or another, we're gonna have to resolve. All right. So that preliminarily being taken care of, where are we now?
So I did have a chance to review the appendix. It does make it clear that property that is lost due to the bed bugs is not Sycamore's liability, but that is not what we are asking for. Our concern is that the bed bugs were reported as soon as they were discovered on March 31st, and the treatment did not arrive until May 5th. And so in the meantime, Ms. Meadows had to try to do some treatments on her own, which cost money, and she had to spend some time in hotels because her kids were getting, and she didn't want that. And so that's where our damages are coming from. I do also want to note that there was, the flooring issue was, I think, intended to demonstrate that that bedbugs would have noticed if they were there. But Ms. Meadows was staying with her parents immediately before moving into this apartment, and they never had a bedbug issue. She never had a bedbug issue before. Within 3 to 4 days of moving in, she was noticing. And the bedbug inspector on May 5th did actually comment that looking at her children's skin, she could tell that this was the first time they had had a bedbug infestation based on their reaction.
So what is your claim?
So our claim is that Sycamore maintenance of the old management was extremely negligent in waiting over a month to give bedbug treatment when it was reported in March, and they didn't come until May.
So what are her damages?
Damages are a total of $800.43.
For what?
Mattress covers and hotel stays.
For what?
Mattress covers and hotel stays, and I can give you itemized if you would like.
Well, hold it. The bed bugs didn't just appear one day. Right.
Our understanding is that they were there from the previous tenant. Ms. Meadows had heard from other tenants that her apartment was in a state of disrepair, and, you know, she and her belongings were also in quite poor.
So how does the mattress covers come into this? Because if it's treated,
Yes, Your Honor, but it wasn't treated for a month. And so the
so how did that damage the mattress covers?
It didn't. She bought the mattress covers to preserve the mattresses so that she wouldn't have to throw them away.
I'm confused because if you have mattress covers on, then the bed bugs, I'm confused because I understand the whole situation of a bed bug situation. And the bed bugs are in the mattress and you don't put the mattress covers on after you find out about the bed bugs. You actually try to have that in place beforehand so that it doesn't actually happen and it doesn't infest the mattresses. So.
Yes, we
Okay.
So that whatever they had me sign was for February 21st. I did not even move in until a month after, so they weren't done flooring or done doing the maintenance of the apartment. In that process, they did allow me to move my things into the basement of the apartment. I don't know in between that time or when they were still trying to get the apartment together or put the flooring in, is that when that's when it started happening? I'm not sure. But I was instructed by their bug people to start.
So is there a dispute as to when these were reported?
Judge, problem is this was before new management took over. So my manager, this is when she first moved in, so years and years ago. Why this claim?
Is that what we're talking about?
Yes. So the fact that we didn't make this.
So this-
previous management.
Hold on a second. So your $800 is from how long ago?
2020. Yeah, because there's still rent that is charged then, that is,
There was what?
I mean, the rent that is charged then is still owing. And so there's, you know, continuing obligations between the parties, even though management has changed.
I'm sorry, I'm confused on that too.
So why wasn't this brought up before?
It was brought up. I actually filed the paperwork to the courts when we originally started this whole process.
I want to know why it wasn't started.
No, I'm saying in 2023.
I'm not,
She had another case.
I'm not sure, but she had just moved into this unit. She was dealing with a lot of issues, and we do have statutes of limitations that are more than a year.
What?
We do have statutes of limitations for this.
Yes,
unit.
but you're asking the court to do something and whether it be statute of limitations or latches. I mean, I've got a concern here that I'm now looking at a claim that's almost 2 years old.
One moment here. Because again, they're charging rent that far back, they're not, there's no like clean slate wiped of obligations between the parties as we're moving forward, saying that because Ms. Meadows didn't take.
So she hasn't
time-
paid rent since 2023?
She has made payments. She's made payments, but there has not been a zero balance.
Yeah, it's like you're still charging me for 2003 things, and I had a lot of damages there, but it's like if we're gonna blame
The
it.
math doesn't work that way, folks. I mean, I'm trying to figure out why this wasn't,
I think that she didn't have the resources to bring an affirmative case about it at that time. She was also struggling with various other things. She had a photography business that she had to stop due to the flooding, which is not before the court today, but it is. I'm just trying to illustrate that she had so many things going on that she didn't have the capacity to bring an affirmative case for the $800.
do I have the receipts for any of this?
Yes. Or I don't think that you do, but I do at the opposing counsel does.
For what?
For the bedbug covers and the nights in the hotel.
How many nights are we talking in a hotel? 6? So what did she do the other time?
My parents,
She was able to.
So why was, if it was at your parents', then why was a hotel necessary?
because before we realized what it was, why would I go and bring it to my parents' house?
That what?
Why would I bring it to my parents' house?
Judge, she just testified earlier that she was staying at her parents' house and putting stuff in the basement, and I can tell you.
In the basement?
I know, that's, I know, isn't, I mean, we're looking at a month period in time. Only 6 of those are in a hotel.
Right.
Is that at the end of that month period?
It's.
This doesn't make any
from-
sense.
It's from 4/7 to 4/16.
So what then would have had to have happened is her parents' house would have had to have been treated. Did that occur?
I don't think.
Did that occur?
No, there was never bed bugs in her parents' house. So it seems that she was successful in not bringing it with her when she was staying in her parents' house in hotels. But she still stayed in a hotel when she could.
So she left a place that had bed bugs. Went to her parents' house for approximately 3 weeks. No bed bug infestation, and then went to a hotel.
I do want to note that the existence of the bed bugs is not under dispute.
I disagree, because my client has actually indicated to you that they put brand new flooring in. He actually also indicates before that, because Ms. Meadows said earlier that she brought furniture and things to the basement while she was still living in her parents' when they were continuing to do the flooring. And that's when the activity took place. So, but the basement was completely repainted, brand new, and my client is here to testify to that as well, before she moved in. So now this is changing as to, I'm confused as to where we're going with this, but if there were bed bugs, they were brought in by Ms. Meadows and Ms. Meadows only, and her things. And so at this point, it's been over 2 years. She should have made the claim with the management that was there when she moved in. She didn't. I'm asking that you grant my judgment for the amounts paid.
So I just want to clarify, are you disputing that there were bed bugs? Because we do have photos of the bed bugs and the bed bug bites that we sent.
I don't know where those came from though, and I think my client has emphatically told this court now twice that he did the brand new flooring and the baseboards when she moved in, and there.
I'll see counsel in chambers. Court is staying in brief recess. We'll come out and get you guys, and then I'll come back out and deal with Arbor 1 momentarily. Court is in recess.
CNA District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The Honorable Judge Jacob accepted for time.
You may be seated. This was the one. Sycamore Meadows versus Meadow.
Oh, good morning again, Carrie David, East 7390. We have to take this almost there, guys, almost there.
Almost
Emily Rule, supervised by Attorney Jill Bauer on behalf of the defendant.
there. All right. And I've had an opportunity to speak with counsel on this case, and I think this matter is going to be resolved via a conditional order dismissal.
That's correct, Judge. Total rent retained with the court cost of $190 would be $5,470.89. In a consent order for conditional dismissal with the 30-day window to the February 28th date, which you gave on the previous file.
All right.
For this to get paid by. I don't have a consent order for conditional dismissal. I can draft one this afternoon, send it to opposing counsel for her to review, and then we can send it to the court.
All right. And part of that may be a little bit unusual in this case is that in that period, there will be best efforts used to close that gap between the 3,000 and the end, and that the defendant would be able to petition the court for either a payment plan or some other type of relief on that. But, all right. Thank you, folks. You appreciate it. You do the same.